Look, we could be having a hearing today on passing a nationwide universal background check on violent criminals for gun purchases, a measure that would save hundreds or thousands of American lives and is favored by more than 90% of Americans of every political persuasion and is supported by the Major Cities Chiefs Association. But the NRA-operated GOP won't allow that. We could be having a hearing on a federal ban on military-style assault weapons, including the mass shooter's weapon of choice, the AR-15, last used at massacres at a Texas mall, a Tennessee school, and a Kentucky bank. But this ban, too, is favored by the vast majority of Americans, including Washingtonians, but the NRA won't allow us to have a hearing on that. Instead, we're studying an obscure bill to allow union-busting Republicans who oppose collective bargaining in general to suddenly strike the pose of defenders of unions as they seek to override and crush a law passed in someone else's community. And why are we doing this, you reasonably ask? Well, the answer is plain. The local police officers union, which could not otherwise override the majority will of DC voters, is demanding it. They failed to persuade a majority on the 13-member Council of the District of Columbia of their position. Their legal challenges were rejected in court. They tried and failed to have their way through a congressional disapproval resolution, and thus far they failed to expand collective bargaining protections for officers found guilty of misconduct through the congressional appropriations process. So this is take 5 for this project. Republicans won't take yes for an answer on a strong bipartisan immigration package coming from the Senate, which would solve the problems at the border they've been bewailing and bemoaning all year, but they won't take no for an answer when it comes to overriding a DC law to strip the power of the local chief of police to regulate discipline on his own police force, an issue which the vast majority of Americans have never even heard of.
But yet I just listened to one of my colleagues say that we need to disarm Americans in order to somehow stop crime in Washington, D.C. We should
will the gentlelady yield?
No, I will not. We should be protecting and supporting police officers. I also heard President Trump come under attack once again because Democrats have nothing else to say to defend their own policies but attack President Trump.
Will the gentlelady yield for a question?
No, I will not yield to one of your stupid questions that are always attacking me and attacking President Trump.
How about a mediocre question?
No, I don't want it. I do not want
an
your
excellent question.
No.
A smart question.
No, my time.
An intelligent question.
You have no smart or intelligent questions.
Chair now recognizes Mr. Garcia for 5 minutes.
Thank you. That was a lot. I want to remind the gentlelady that it was her that actually organized a trip to the DC jail to hug and high-five and sit with the insurrectionists that actually attacked our Capitol. So if we're talking about the safety of DC and the Capitol, it's just quite, I think, ironic. This is all facts. This is quite ironic that the insurrectionists that tried to overthrow our government in the capital city were being coddled. We're actually being coddled by. It's quite a shame that you call them political prisoners or hostages. I think maybe you called them. They actually try to overthrow our government. Let me continue with my time.
She's not recognized.
Thank you. So I think it's quite interesting that my colleague trying to talk about the safety of DC when she literally supported an insurrection, an attack on the Capitol, visited the prisoners. I was there as one of 2 Democrats there as part of that visit on behalf of this committee, and seeing her high-five folks that want to overthrow our government. So quite ridiculous. And if she's so interested in fixing Washington, D.C., maybe she should run for mayor of D.C. It's what she seems to be interested in. She's obsessed with everything going on. I just want to remind folks that D.C. and the district has a mayor. They have a city council. They're trying to pass regulations.